What's happening, people? What's happening? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? I have finally got my legs up under me. Had to go up under anesthesia today. Yeah, I was knocked out for a couple of hours. Man, I hate going in. I just hate going in the hospital. I hate it. Healthcare in any way, shape, or form. Hate it. That's why I keep telling people, if you're young, listen to me. And I used to do the same thing. I stayed in the gym. People knew me. I mean, I was probably one of the healthiest persons running around ever. I'm gonna try to do two things at one time. Running around, and then everything went downhill. So, only thing I'm saying to you again, people, if you're healthy, please take care of yourself. Please go to the gym. Please. Go work out. Go on a walk. Go do those things. Eat as healthy as you possibly can eat. Period, point blank. Because you do not, and I mean you do not want to end up in the healthcare. You do not want to end up in the healthcare system. Because once they have you, it is over with. It is the worst of the worst of the worst. Listen, I'm not telling you something that I'm thinking. I'm not telling you something that I'm guessing on. I'm telling you strictly straight what I know. It is the worst system out there to be a part of. It is the worst system out there to deal with because they don't give a flying jackrabbit jackola about you. They don't. What they care about is your money. Listen, when just so I had to get a new kidney doctor, right? So I got this kidney doctor, and I'm not kidding. I 15 minutes. I have not seen this man over 15 minutes, and then I get this bill for $858. I'm in there for 15 minutes. And the only thing he does is he asks me how I'm doing. He'll check my legs to see if they blown up. Put his stethoscope to my chest, to my back. And we're done. And for me to go see that man, for that, I could do all that myself. I could, matter of fact, dude, we could do this on Skype. But it's $800 some odd for this dude. Why? Because he's a specialty. He specializes in kidneys. So if listen to me, people, trust me when I say this. You can ask anybody who's going through the healthcare system. Talk to them. They'll tell you. It is so bad. It is so bad. Like I have to plug up at night. Check this out. So I have to plug up at night. And for me to go through my dialysis at night, every single time that I plug up to that machine, it costs $4,278. I have to do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do the math and see what that adds up to at the end of the month. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. So I'm just telling you, please listen to me when I say take care of yourself. If you have to start today, do it today. I wish I'd had somebody, because I like to eat. I'm reckless. I mean, I eat everything. And one of my favorite things that I used to eat a lot, I'm talking a lot, is those banana pies. Hey, Heidi, how you doing? Nice to see you too, Heidi. Those banana pies, those Little Debbie banana pies. Oh, my God. I can't have them no more. I ate enough of them that put me out of commission. But that was my thing. I would sit in box after box after box after box. Not thinking. Thought I was just, I could live through anything. I was a destructor of everything. Didn't matter what it was. Here I am. So don't get yourself in this position, people. Please don't do it. Do not get yourself in a position where the healthcare system got you and there's nothing, because there's nothing I can do anymore. There's zero that I can do. I am in the system has me, and there's nothing that I can do at all. At all. But anyway, hey, so I wanted, so today, after I came to, and I'm sitting there, I'm laying there. You come to and they have you laying in the bed for a while, and you can't feel your feet, and you're all droggy and all that there type. Y'all know, if you ever been under, you know what I'm talking about, right? But after I finally came through, I got my phone, and my phone was going nuts, just going nuts. I'm sitting there going, what the heck is going on? What did I miss in this time, right? What did I miss? I took a nap, and all hell is breaking loose. I grabbed my phone. I'm like, hey, Rev, you gotta watch the special session, man. Are you watching the special session? No, I'm not watching it. You gotta watch it. So hit the reply. Watching the special session. And the part that I came in, I mean, literally, right when I came in on the special session, is a DFLer, a representative. His name is Robert Bierman, Robert Bierman, a DFLer, was on the floor of the Capitol when they was debating this or whatever they was doing with this bill. And he said this here. He said he said this here. He said, for God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved. He said, whomever believes in him is not condemned, but whomever does not believe in him. And I'm sitting here going, that's a Democrat quoting the Bible. Oh, my God. A Democrat is quoting the Bible. Seriously, I looked at, because I had to, so they got me out of this bed thing, and they put me in this chair. So I'm leaning back in the chair, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm sitting there going, you're sure I'm awake? I just want to make sure that y'all are sure I'm awake, because we have a Democrat quoting the Bible. I'm not awake, because Democrats have zero. So his take and what he was trying to say, the take that he was trying to make was saying that we all should love our neighbors, and we all should take care of the people who come here, and the poor. We should take care of they was kind of really trying to slap the Republicans, because Republicans skipped places in the Bible also, right? Just like the Democrats skip in the Bible where God said him man and she female. There's only two genders. That part that the Democrats hate reading. You will never hear a Democrat. You will never hear a Democrat read Genesis. Right? Because Genesis basically started out. Genesis is where God said, I'm going to make man. Genesis is where God says, I'm going to put the man to sleep. I'm going to take a rib from this man, and I'm going to make what? Woman, female, male. You will never see a Democrat quoting Genesis. Ever. Because in Genesis, God tells the man and the woman to go and fulfill the earth. Because only a man and a woman can do that. Nobody else can. I don't care what you snip and you cut. So you will never see a Democrat quoting out of Genesis. Won't happen. Our God tells us to take care of the poor. Our God tells us to take care of the downtrodden. Our God tells us to take care of the hungry. So when I rewound this tape, this video, there was a Republican sitting there saying, this is what the Republican said. He said that the immigrants, illegals who are here, instead of being paid by the state for the health care, they should go to nonprofits and get funds to pay their bills. And I'm sitting here going, that's why you will never hear a Republican talking about what God tells us to do for the poor out of the Bible. You will never hear them do that. There is no compassion. That is one thing that I can tell you about Republicans. They love to hold the Bible up and say, oh, we're Christians. But you will never hear the compassion that God tells you to have from the Republican Party. It will never happen. You will never hear them quote from the Bible where God tells us to love our brothers and our sisters. You will never hear that. So it was just funny to me today that you got a Democrat quoting the Bible and then Republicans making fun of Democrats quoting the Bible. Y'all are some hypocrites, like both sides. This is what I keep trying to tell y'all. Y'all are not getting the picture because you're so used to carrying water for the Democrats and the Republicans. That's what your problem is. You wonder why they can get away with the crap that they get away with. Because of you. I don't blame the Republican Party anymore, and I don't blame the Democratic Party anymore for anything that goes on. I blame you all. Y'all are doing this here. As long as you carry water for these people can do crap like that. Then the bombshell drops. I get to the part where this lady stands up on the floor and she says, I have no rights on being here. Everything about me is illegal. From my mama to my grandmama. From my daddy to my granddaddy. All of my being. All of it. And then we sit back and we go, how did this happen? How did she? No. And I started thinking about it. After I put the post out, I did something today that I had promised myself I would never do again. because I got smacked a long time ago for putting something out and it wasn't right. So then I started, after I put it out, I did. I was one of those who ran with what she said. I put it out there. I did, because I was shocked that someone would actually stand on the floor and say this. So I just put it out. It has to be true. If it comes out of her mouth, I'm like, it has to be true. But then after I put it out and after I said a couple of things, I sat back and I started thinking, what is she up to? What is she up to? Because there's no way in the world you're going to sit there and make me believe that somebody like that is just going to tell on themselves. There's no way in the world you're going to sit there and make me believe that she's going to tell on herself like that. Do you know what could happen? Or what should happen? But to be a Democrat here in the state of Minnesota, boy, you talking about you got it. You talking about you got it good, right? Think about this for a second. You got a situation where this lady goes and breaks into, even though it's family. You know, I know somebody said that to me today, and I'm sitting here going, no, somebody said this to me on Tuesday. Last Tuesday, not today, Tuesday. It was a family member, Rev. What are you making a big deal out of it? Really? Really? So I can go literally break into it. This is, and this person I was talking to was a Democrat. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I say when you carry water for a party. You don't begin to make sense to me anymore. No, you really don't. You can't make sense to me, because this person said to me, and I'm not kidding, because it was a family member, it's not a crime. What are you talking about? Oh, she didn't commit a crime, Rep. That's a family member. She broke into the house like a thief in the night. Am I the only one that think? You got to be kidding me. No, they were dead serious. And they were a Democrat. So this lady breaks into a home. I'm not even going to call it it was a home. No different than anybody else's home. She breaks into this home. She don't do any jail. She don't go to jail. If that was a black woman breaking into a house, she going to jail. You got caught in you was on site and they caught you. Police did. With all the tools. And and here you are, get to go and sit on the floor and vote. And vote. That is crazy to me. Knowing that I've been to jails, knowing I've been to prisons, knowing I've been to workhouse, and people are in jail for breaking in homes. They're in jail. They're doing time right now. And this lady get to run around, shop, go to Valley Fair and everything else she's doing. She broke into her home. So make me understand. Somebody, please, just make me understand it. You can't, because you can't make it up. But because she's a Democrat and because she plays the game that the Democrats play, guess what? Nobody can mess with her. Nobody can touch her. She's literally off limits to the point that the DA could step in. The Attorney General can step in. But they are all Democrats. But she gets to run around. So this lady And like I said, I ran with it. I signed and sealed it and put it out there. But this lady stood there and actually said that papers were now get this part. Go all the way back, because I listened to her like 12 times before I 12 times. The way she explains how she got here, there was some papers that was falsified for her people to come here, right? Go listen to the tape. Maybe I'm wrong, but she did say her grandmother died. Her dad put down that that the mother was the grandmother and blah, whatever. But the way she explains it, there was some trickery going on. And through that trickery, she got to come to these United States of America, correct? And during that time of being in these United States of America, she never applied, apparently, to become an American citizen. That goes for her mom, her dad, her granddad, her grandma, everybody else. Nobody applied. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here, that I didn't miss something, because somewhere down the line, she's going to come out and say something. She's going to say, I was just joking. Okay, then I have to believe her, because if she's not joking, the Democratic Party has to explain how this woman is sitting on Capitol Hill with a mic in her hand. They've got it. No, they've got to. What was that? Somebody called me something again. No, they've got to explain that. They have to explain how this woman is where she's at. Because if this is what we're doing in politics, then I'm running. I'm running for a lot of stuff. Then I'm running for everything out of the sun. I don't even live in the district, and I'm going to run. I don't even live in a district. I'm going to be running. I'm going to find a district where I know people like me enough that I can win, and that's where I'm going to run. No, they like me here. I'm going to run. No, I don't live in a district. And then when I get in the office, then I'll let them fight my battles for me. Because that's what's about to happen. Because that's what's about to happen. If you don't think this is a shock to the Democratic Party, what this lady did, unless she told them she was going to do this, and they're already ready to defend her. But if they're not ready to defend her, you know as well as I do, right now they're ready to find a way to spin this like you would not believe. And that's what's about to happen. Watch. Or they're just going to say, screw it, because nobody can do anything to us, and we're going to do whatever we want. We'll break the law if we want. They already break the law anyway at any point in time. But I'm sitting here going, all the things you can do as a Democrat. I'm going to call Brad up. Brad, we're running. No, bro. Forget this Republican thing. We're running as Democrats. No, Brad, because you could. So I can go and get one of my Democratic congresspersons or legislators to write a bill and say that I want to feed 12 homeless people. And in doing those 12, I'm going to need about 50 grand. 75 grand. Let's pump it up a little bit. So to feed these 12 homeless people for a month, I need about 75 G's, right? Yeah. And then they write the bill and you give me the money. And I give these 12 enough money to go to McDonald's, and I pocket the rest. I fed them. Hold on. I fed them. You can't say I didn't feed them. I got pictures of me and them in McDonald's. Now, I'm a DFLer now. All this fraud that went down, all this money that has left the state of Minnesota, that happened under the DFL. True story. I'm not making that up. You can be a criminal under the DFL and nothing happens to you. You can be illegal under the DFL and nothing. Oh, yeah. You get a driver's license. And for the next 6 months, my understanding, you get free health care. Or some type of health care. I'm not going to say free, but you get some type of health care. Under the DFL. And under the DFL, see, here's going to be my problem about the DFL, where I'm gonna go sideways with them. See, because I have a problem with talking about fighting ICE or any type of law enforcement. I'm not down with that part. See, that's where the DFL is going to be like, see, we got something on him. He don't want to come out in the streets, which, like I told black people, don't have your ass out there in the streets. This ain't our problem. This ain't got nothing to do with us. We got 14, 15, 16-year-old boys shooting each other and shooting girls in our community. That's where I want to see you. But I bet not go down there on Lake Street and see a black person out there. I'll curse you out. I will drop all of everything that I am. I will convert back to 2010, and I will say some words that I wouldn't say right now. And I'm not kidding. There's no joking in me at all. I don't want to see one black person out there on those streets. This ain't our fight. We got nothing to do with this. You want to do something? Then let's go to a school board and talk to them about these kids being able to graduate, learning to and knowing how to read. You want to do something? Come hang out with me on tomorrow, matter of fact, down there on Lindell and 26 in the park, talking to these young kids, doing things with these. Come hang out with me then. If you ain't got nothing to do better than to run around here talking about what you're gonna be doing for some damn for some very people. Look, my understanding when I talk to some of the black women, they say 92% of us did our job. Now, 58% of the Latinos decided that they're gonna vote for exactly what's going on. Y'all voted for this. We didn't. Black people didn't. What he said, we need better housing. Thank you very much. We need better housing policy. Y'all want to fight for something? Just like the sister here said. Sister said, we need better housing. That's what we need. You want to fight? There we go. Come on. I got something for you. I got a fight for you. We need vocation classes in schools for these kids. We need things for these kids to do during the summer, because the only thing these kids are going to be doing is running the streets. We need things for, if you want to fight for something, trust me, you can bring an American flag with you too, because that's another part of the thing. Somebody said something to me today that, did I read some type of treaty or something? Because I asked the question, wait a minute, you're on American soil and the flag that you're waving is the flag of the country that you ran from. You ain't making sense to me. You ain't making sense to me. Maybe because I'm not out there, I don't get it. But I'm just saying, that just doesn't make sense to me. You're going to fly that flag. You're protesting with that flag. The country that you ran from, saying that you couldn't live there no more, you ran here for asylum, that was so bad. That country was so bad, you had to get out of there. But yet you're going to run around the streets, standing on cars that are burning, waving that flag. That makes a lot of sense. That makes just so much sense to me. Wow. Okay. But black folks, no. No. That's why they having a riot or whatever they're doing out there in California. You ain't seen me tweet one time about it. I ain't tweeting about it. I ain't saying nothing. Nope. When they was downtown, when they was down the street a couple of days ago, acting up, getting in front of, the police cars and all this here type of stuff. Now, as far as what happened here in Minneapolis, I understand why the people were mad, because they was promised. Listen to me when I say this. And this is what a lot of people outside of Minneapolis who don't come into Minneapolis, who've not been into the meetings, who wasn't at the churches when it was said. This is the thing that y'all are not understanding. And I try to make you guys, I try to make you guys understand things from the inside. Not that you care, not that you're going to listen, but they were promised by the police chief and the mayor that ICE would never be on the grounds of Minneapolis. That was a promise. That was a promise. So you ask why they was upset, why they were mad. Because that's what they were promised. Just saying, if you was promised something in your area and it didn't happen the way, you would be upset too. Well, January 6th. I'm gonna leave it at that. But black folks, again, this isn't us, man. We got too much. We got too much to do in our community. To be out here getting arrested, going to jail, losing your job, getting all types of files on you. Because once they get you, and and you've been out there, and they can recognize who you are, or they're gonna put your name down. Then they can get you all the time. They can keep stopping you over and over and over, right? They were gonna be, they're white supremacists. They keep stopping me. Well, were you at the protests? Okay, more than likely that's why. Y'all see, but black people, you got to think that way sometimes. You put yourself in a situation. Sorry, that's your fault. But we ain't doing this. We ain't, because if you, Revis, you got something I can do? Yeah, I do. Oh yeah. I got there's kids down in St. Paul. Right, matter of fact, right now, learning to play chess so they can be on the chess team. There are kids right now down in St. Paul learning video and videography. There's kids right now down in St. Paul learning to write a business portfolio. So when we do our next young entrepreneurs days at the mall where they can sell their product, we need people helping those kids in those things, helping these kids rise up a little bit. That's what you can do. But you don't need to be out on the streets right now. So, ma'am and sir, I'm talking to the black people. You want something to do? I got something for you to do other than being out there acting a fool, getting yourself in trouble, going to jail for nothing, because this isn't you. And I saw a lot of black people on Twitter talking about we need to stand in solidarity. No, your community is screwed up. You got black women, number one in abortions. You got black kids out here shooting and killing each other. Half of them can't read. 36-year-old grandma of 5. No, do the math, what I just said. I'm not playing. Don't be out in the streets. I swear, like I said, I bet not go down on Lake Street and see no black folks from Minneapolis out there putting their hands on cops, putting their hands on this ISIS situation. Like I said before, black folks and ICE don't mix. Don't mix. So don't do it. That man who y'all decided to be your president told y'all he was doing this. He told you he was doing this. So I don't understand why everybody's all shocked when he told you, if you put me in the White House, this is what I'm going to do. And he's doing it. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. I ain't got nothing to do with it. And more, man, you black folks, y'all should have nothing to do with it also. And another thing I wanted to clear up a little bit, because I seen a Republican representative answer back a city council member. And the Republican representative, in his text back to the Democratic city councilman, said that they hate the police. That's what the Republican, and I've seen a couple of Republicans in some of the statements that they made say the same thing. They use the word hate about the people, about the police and the people in the community of Minneapolis and some parts of St. Paul. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to Republican Party and policing and understand. Because bottom line is, none of the Republicans come into the community to understand what's going on between the community and the police, right? They don't come. They just sit back and they listen to crap these Republican online influencers say, especially the ones here. Okay, they're whack and they don't have zero clue what they're talking about, right? And this is the reason why I had said to dude at iHeartRadio, John, if you're going to have black people on your show, and this is why John, and I was going to wear my irrelevant hat tonight too. John called me irrelevant. And he called me irrelevant because he gets these two so-called black men on his show to talk about the black community. And one of the things I want you to understand about these two black men who go on his show is they have nothing to do with the black community. They don't come into the black community. They don't deal with anybody. The closest they come to the black community is if they're driving down 94. And I believe they don't drive down 94. They don't drive down 94 because they feel they'll be too close to the black community. They drive 694 to get on the other side of town. But my point that I'm making here is the awful things that Republicans like to put down and they don't know anything about it. There's nobody that hates the Minneapolis Police Department. Let's make sure we understand. And this is why I always tell people, go read the DOJ report. Republicans won't read that report because they're gonna because they would learn something. And if they learn something, like this Republican rep who told the council member Ellison that he hated the police, see, this representative would learn something, even though I've told him, but yet he still would rather say this red meat rhetoric than to be honest with the people. Another reason why I tell y'all need to stay from up under these parties. These parties lie. The people in the party have to carry on a persona and make crap up so you will stick with them. I've got people right now on my page. Their whole thing is to run around and to say lies, tell lies about me. I had a guy, I ended up blocking him again. I gave him a chance. I did. I gave him every chance. So the guy says that I'm not a minister. And I said, oh, I'm an ordained minister. So he comes back with, oh, well, you got your license online. No, I did not. So I told him point blank, you can call the state of, right here, Minnesota, and ask them where I got my license from. I did 4 years to get my license. Call the state. They'll tell you. I have a 4-year degree in Bible theology. Call the state, I told him. But he's running around the internet with that lie. And there's people that believe that lie. But the only thing you have to do is call the state, and you see that I am a state-certified ordained minister. My ordination came through Berean Missionary Baptist Church under the leadership of Charles Ford. They will tell you that at the state. Then, because that didn't work, he decided, well, I'm going to come after you again. He says, well, I heard you shut down. No, he didn't say shut down. He said something else about the organization, Shepherd's Works, which again was a lie. When I was diagnosed with kidney failure, when I hit stage 5, I got sick as a dog. Y'all didn't see me on here for months, right? I mean, that's people was going, where are you, Rev? You disappeared. I got so sick and I lost so much weight that my wife could not do it by herself. So we had to shut it down. We had to shut it down. And the guy, after I got sick, because you have to have 3 people on your board, right? You need a total of 3 people on the board. That's what you need. Okay. And then after I got sick and everything, and he was like, man, you know what? You need to wrap it up. So I'm going to drop. So we lost one guy, and it was just my wife and I. Well, am I going to leave my wife to do this by herself? And people don't realize how hard it is to run a nonprofit organization. I don't think people realize how hard it is. So we shut it down, right? And I shut it down. And that's why we shut it down. I mean, after I finally got on, went through all of this crap to get on dialysis, I'm all right. I mean, I'm not as sick as I was before. Because if you'd have seen me before, and that's when I did come back, everybody's like, wow, Rev, look at your faces. Because I lost a lot of weight. A lot of weight. And I got really, really sick. So, but they are mad at me. The people who are running around here right now, dragging my name in the mud, they're mad at me because I will not sit here and actually tell you that I'm a Republican. That's why they're mad at me. I refuse to carry water for the Democrats, and I refuse to carry water for the Republican Party. I just do. I've been in both of them. When I first voted, I was a Republican. I voted for Ronald Reagan the first time I voted. Why? Because my father's in the military. Why? Because my grandfather was a Republican. My whole family are conservatives. That's what we are. We are conservative. My grandfather, all my uncles are conservatives. The reason I went over to the Democratic Party is because what George Bush did with the Willie Horton ads, how racist those were. And if you grew up when I grew up with George Bush, you can't sit there and tell me that Willie Horton ad wasn't as racist as all get up. You're lying to yourself. You can't tell me that Ronald and when Ronald, and then I didn't vote for Reagan again because of the welfare queen thing that he put on that black woman. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're as old as I am, y'all know where I'm going with this. I didn't vote for him again because he told Nancy Reagan to say no to drugs out the front door, and out the back door, he was flooding the black community with drugs. So I went over to the Democratic Party. See what's happening over there. And I got over there, and the next thing I know, I voted for Bill Clinton. The next thing I know, he got his little wee-wee in somebody's mouth, and it wasn't his wife's. Done with that. So let me hop back over here and see if the Republicans have changed in any way, shape, or form. And you know what? They hadn't. But you know what? Still, I like Bush. I like what he's saying. I like what he's doing. That's my guy. That's my guy. And then New Orleans happened. And the man acted like he didn't give a damn about that place. All them people down there. And this man flew over this place in an airplane looking down. Gotta go. Go back over to the Democrats. Next thing I know, Obama said, well, I'm going to evolve. And a man can be whatever a man wants to be, and a woman can be whatever. Oh, I got to go. I can't do the Democrats. So I go back over to Republican to the Tea Party. And I'm thinking, hey, we got something going. The Republicans finally woke up. They finally opened the door. We got a big tent. Everything's going great. And then the end hit, and the Republicans decide to show their racist side again in the Tea Party right here in the state of Minnesota. I was there with my own eyes. And I left. And from that point on, I will never, ever tote water for a party. Ever. And I got people running around here being mad at me. Calling me out. Trying to drag my name. Because I will not say that I'm not happening, people. So all of the new people, and I got a lot of new people that I didn't shout out. All the new people who've come on board here. If you come over here, want to sit here and say, oh, I'm here because he's a Republican. Well, I'm here because he's a Democrat. I'm about to burst your bubble. I'm a straight conservative who sees things from the middle. From the middle. I'm talking about bringing people together. Everybody has to do the work, because if everybody don't do the work, it's not as you can see, it's not going to get done. The Republicans are not going to do it. The Democrats are not going to do it. It's time for Minnesota to become a state of the people. The people have to get back and say, we want our state to run like this. And then we got to put people in office who run the state how the people want it done. Not one group of people or this here group of people. Because the bottom line is the problem with Minnesota is the Democrats have went too far. Too far. And I think we all can agree on that. And it's not bashing, but I think we all can agree on that. They went too far. They too far. That they don't think that they can pull this thing back enough to actually make a change to make a difference. They have to, because their nutty group, the Democrats, the nutty far lefties of the left, don't want to bring it back. They don't want to start seeing things the way normal people do. And it's the same thing with the Republicans. So because the far rights want to keep it way out here. Nobody wants to do this here. No, I'm not saying they have to touch. You know, you're in classroom and people don't touch such and such. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying we're too far left over here and we're too far right over here. Because when people get mad at you because you don't want to agree with them, on both sides. People are mad at me on both sides. If I put the gun down on a Democrat, if I stop pushing water for my gun to own my gun, and I start talking like the Democrats want me to, I could be something big in the Democratic Party. I could right now. The only thing I have to do is start toting their water and saying what they want me to say. And say it in a way that's going to make their people jump up and down. Same thing with the Republicans. Oh, I could, this here, like I said, I could have been getting paid for this. I don't make any money off people. It's funny how people think, you know, just because I do this, I don't make one dime, not one dime. The subscription for this thing is $368 for the whole year. That came out of my pocket. I didn't get no monetizement or nothing out of this. But people don't understand that. I do this because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing this. So this is my credit card that pays to be here. This is my credit card that pays for this equipment that I bought here to be able to do this here. Didn't come from anywhere else. So the Republican lawmaker who told y'all a lie that people in Minneapolis hates the cops, that's and I can tell you this because when they had the defund the police meetings and the dismantle the police meeting, I was in those meetings. I heard what those people said firsthand. It's not a point that people don't hate the cops. They hate what the cops were doing in Minneapolis. And for those who are not down there to see that happen, if you've never seen the Jump Out Boys, if you've never seen the police pull up and get out and just grab somebody and throw them around, if you've never seen that, then you would think that the police was like where you lived, where they just drive around and they wave at everybody and they get out and they throw the football with your kids or play basketball with your kids. You would think that those police in Minneapolis would like, they're not. They're not. They're not. But they're getting that way. The group that's there now, that's why you haven't heard a lot of people screaming and yelling about the Minneapolis Police Department, have you? No, you haven't. The group that's down there now, even though it's a small group, but they are doing a fabulous job. I can tell you that. Fabulous job. Nobody hates the police. So that lying state representative needs to stop that. It's not hate. Only thing people ever wanted from, even when they were saying defund the police, even when they were saying dismantle the police, y'all didn't see the lead up to that. They don't talk about why did they lead up to that? Why was that said? Why did they say that? They don't talk about that part. And you don't hear the Republicans tell you about that part because they don't want you to know that. It's easy for them to lie to you and tell you those people hate the police. But see, the funny part about that is I don't ever see anybody asking the question, well, why do they hate the police? What happened to make them hate the police? What part did the police play in this? I don't ever see anybody asking that simple question. You go along with the lie. The police department put up one of the most racist Christmas trees in the black community ever. Look it up, people. These are things you can look up. Read the DOJ report. And then come in and tell me, with all that stuff, just the stuff I just told you, because I can keep going. Would you trust the police? Go back and look at the 13th on Netflix. What I want you to do is go to Netflix, look at the Netflix. It's on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and do that. But I need you to watch that movie. You see, what I'm saying is you're going to learn if you want to learn. But go look at the 13th. It's on Netflix, and that will somewhat give you a history of the police. When they first became police for a reason, slave catchers, they even had badges that said slave catchers on there. Throughout history of the police sicking dogs on black people, the police having water hose on black people, when they came over the Edmund-Pettus Bridge, who met those marchers? Police. Who beat those marchers? Police. For marching over a bridge? Police. When they had the protests of the black men down in my home state, the protests that my grandfather walked in, of the garbage men, only thing they wanted was to be paid fair and equal. Who beat those black men? Police. The only thing they was doing was walking around. When a group of kids wanted to go to the courthouse to pray, who stopped them and told them that they could take their little nigger ass back to where they came from? Police. There's a history, people. So when these low down dirty reps lie to you and use language like somebody hate the police, that's a lie. There's a reason and there's a history there. And they will not tell you that because it doesn't go with their narrative. This Republican Party fought tooth and nails to get SROs to be able to restrict kids' airway. And if one of those kids died during that time, they would be on the side of the SRO. And there's a dead kid because the Republican Party fought tooth and nail to give the SROs the opportunity and the way to fold kids up like pretzels. And which kids do you think that's going to happen to? I'll let you take that guess. I don't want to put nothing in your head. Those are facts, people. That happened right here in Minnesota. So I wanted to address that because I saw that today. And I was like, he's lying. And he don't know what he's talking about. And he's just talking out the side of his neck. People are not down there talking about hating the police. They want police like everybody else got in their community, in their neighborhood. Yeah, I know. Your neighborhood isn't like what's down there. And what's down there shouldn't be. It shouldn't. And one of the ways we're looking to clean that up is give these police, instead of having, watch this here. So a lot of police make a lot of money being nighttime guards or security at these clubs, right? It makes them pretty good money. I want to pay them the same that way as being coaches for a baseball team, a basketball team, a soccer team. You see what I'm saying? I want to get the police in the community, back into community that way. I remember a long time ago, you had cops who were police. I mean, you had police who were coaches of teams. And that's how these kids knew these police. So when I, as a kid, had this cop as my buddy, as my coach, and he brings in all of these other police officers to either help him or if they just stop by practice and meet us, when I see him on the street, I'm not necessarily going to see him as a police. That's my coach. And if I'm doing something wrong, my coach is getting on me. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I want. That's how I want to get the community back together with the police. I also want the police to walk the beat, to be able to talk to people who are on the street. I want a good relationship with the situation that we have so we can take the situation that we have and make it better. That's my mindset. And that way, if the community and the police are getting along, there shouldn't be a reason why we can't hire police from Minneapolis. The reason cops don't really want to work there is because of the community. Let's be honest with you. Not the policies, not this. It's because of the community, the way the community acts, the way the community treats them. They look at it and go, I'm not going down there. And they're right. We need to clean up the community. People need to stop acting the way they do in the community. And they are dead right. I agree with a lot of what I've heard a lot of the police say. And until we clean that up, we can't have cops because cops won't come in. Till we make a difference in the community, we won't have cops because cops won't come in. Until I get people in that community to start seeing things that way, we can't have cops because cops don't want to come in the community. Period, point blank. But anyway, fam, I got to get out of here. We got an 8 o'clock game. Thank God it didn't rain because these kids have really not been able to play. We've had so many rainouts. It's not even funny. We got an 8 o'clock game tonight. Like the other night, our game got rained out. But anyway, got an 8 o'clock game tonight, so I'm going to end tonight like I always end tonight, realizing and understanding that we serve an honest, mighty God, a really, really good God, a God that if you turn your life around and you give your life to him, that no matter what you do, what you go through from that point on, God is going to make sure he's right there with you. I can tell you that because I've been through the same thing until I decided that I was going to live my life by that book as close as I can. I always make sure I say that because I know how people are. You don't live your life to the word of the book. I can guarantee you, I come really, really close. Really close. And I know I got a good God that I serve. An awesome God. And I know what he's done in my life. And I'm telling you, only thing you have to do is give it up. Give up the devil and turn things over to God and let him have it and walk away from it. And everything will be totally different in your life. That's guaranteed. No ifs, ands, or buts. But I got to get out of here, fam. I just want everybody to smile. And whenever you get the chance, go outside with that smile and smile at somebody. So somebody smile back at you. Y'all have a good one. We will see you on Wednesday. Peace. I'm out.